What's up YouTube? This is the Wisco Boater channel. My name is Chad and this video is all about putting underwater LED lights on Thirsty Whale. I've got these blue LED lights here. They're underwater rated. They were inexpensive. I just want to try them to see if they'll work. If they do work out, I may end up replacing them with some more expensive lights, but I wanted to see A, if I can get them through the hull, and then B, if they work and look nice, they might get upgraded. So my neighbor Jeff is coming over. We're going to work on a couple of other things, but he's got some carbon fiber that I think I might be able to use to make a mounting plate for these lights. I'm going to mount them on the trim tabs. The trim tabs have a lip on them that kind of, you got the flat piece that's the actual trim tab, and then it has a lip that comes up. So I'm going to see if I can build or make a bracket that will mount on the trim, on that vertical part of the trim tab, and then that way the lights are out of the wash of the water when you're on plane, and I think they'll create a pretty cool effect when we're running on plane. So we don't run at night that often, but these are really more for dock lights to look cool at the dock. So they come with some fancy paperwork, gives you all kinds of average luminescence figures and optical parameters and maintenance and Ganiop photo with some sort of test. And they tell me that the black wire is negative and the red wire is positive. So, all right, well, at least I know how to wire it now. So, let's see if I can get a bracket built for these, and then there's just a simple part here to build up. So we'll do that and then run these up to the boat at some point. All right, before I do anything with these lights, let's make sure they work. I've got them hooked up to my benchtop power supply here that puts out 13.8 volts. It's a 12 volt converter. So we'll turn this on. Look at those pretty blue lights. Those things are bright. All right, they work. We can take them to the boat. Okay, so I got the brackets built for the LED lights here. Just my neighbor Jeff had some red carbon fiber, which was just kind of leftover scrap. There's a lot of washers on the back here because I don't know how thick the metal is on the trim tabs, but these are going to mount, as I showed you just before, on the back of the trim tabs, wire sticking up so we can run it up into the boat through the back of the transom. But that is the bracket built for both lights. So nothing else to do now but take these up to the boat and get these mounted and figure out the wiring. All right, we're up at the boat, and I'm gonna see if I can get these LED underwater lights installed. I'm not gonna get them wired today, but I have just about a half hour or so left in the building here before we have to go. So I think I'm gonna work on getting these mounted. Shouldn't be fairly difficult. Shouldn't be fair. I don't know how to say that. Shouldn't be difficult. All that difficult to install these. So I've got somewhere I've got a pencil. What did I do with the pencil? So for now, this is just a matter of mounting or drilling holes and mounting these, and I'm basically lining them up with the rudders. So I'll just mark my holes here. I'll start with a smaller bit, drill a pilot hole, and then we'll step up to the full-size bit. So there's a little bit of corrosion on these trim tabs, so my outside hole went just a little low, but that's okay. See if I can work this up just a little bit. Now it's just a simple matter of finding our holes first. Yeah, that one went a little lower than I thought. Okay, I think I can make that work. One in. And then I think what I'll do is I'll tighten this one down and then open up the carbon fiber a little bit. Sorry about the light down here. I don't have much of a light source. Might need, yeah, I'm gonna put 2 washers on this one, I think. I'm using acorn nuts with a flat washer and a lock washer. And of course, acorn nuts only can go so far. All right, so let me show you how this looks here. Here we go, our first underwater light is installed. Got plenty of wire here to run up. I'll probably run it up somewhere around in here so the pass through the transom is above the water line. I don't want to go up too much higher because I don't want it to really be seen. So I'll probably run it right in this area. Water line is right around here, so I'll have a good 5-6 inches above the water line for the wire to pass through. But for now, we're just going to leave that there. I'm going to install the second one and I'll give you a wider view. All right, from a little further back here, both lights installed. Again, these are stainless steel bezels installed with stainless steel hardware. And then once the wires are run through, I don't really have to worry about the boat being in or out of the water. I can really work on these at any point, in or out of the water. So, but hopefully I can get it done before the boat launches this spring. It's the end of January this weekend. So I feel like I still have a lot of stuff to do before we put the boat back in the water, but hopefully I can get it all done. So until next time, I think it's looking pretty good. All right, I'm gonna drill holes in the transom here for the wires for the underwater lights. I've marked out the location in my head anyway of where to drill through the back of the transom. I'm hoping that my bit is long enough, but I've got the location. I'm going to go straight up from this top screw here for the trim tab actuator and right across from the bracket. So I'm going to drill right on the white and blue line. Okay, and I can see all the way through. I'll take the wire, put that through to the other side. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and push it in as far as I can, and definitely gonna leave some slack here for the trim tab to move. Okay, so I will probably, I'll probably tie this to the swim platform support, and we'll actuate we'll actuate the trim tabs before I actually figure out where to mount these. But probably something like this. Just run the wire straight down to the bottom of the swim platform support, and I'll get a little wire scupper, I think is what they're called, and seal that up. So that's done. We'll go to the other side. Same thing on this wire. Twist those two together. Push those through. Now this is above the water line, but I will still seal it. Okay, we'll leave that there for now. And let's go inside and see what it looks like from the inside. Okay, come on back inside. Ow! I did that last week. Okay, so back inside the boat, and here you can see the wire where it comes through. And I probably won't get to finishing this project before we get out on the water, but I at least want to get those holes drilled so that I can go get a wire scupper seal, I guess is what I'll call it. I don't really know. And then over on this side, you can see where it comes through, right there. So we're clear of everything. So let me grab the wire. I'll just put it up top here. Rest it there for now. So I'll seal these holes, and then at some point figure out how to run the wires from the back of the boat here up to the fuse panel that's up underneath the helm. I think that's probably how I'll power these. I've got this all pulled away just as a side note here, because Skipper Buds is going to do the rudder packing glands, which are way down there. That was a project that I was gonna do, but I decided that was just too much work for me. So I'm not gonna hang my head upside down for hours on end in order to get those packing glands done. So I'll leave that to the professionals, but I'm kind of running out of time today, but I just wanted to get those wires through the back of the transom, and I'll find the seals, the little scupper seals to seal the outside, and I'll put some silicone or probably marine 4000, 3M 4000 sealant on the inside here as well. But again, it is above the water line, so I'm not really terribly worried about it, but it's still a hole through the boat, so we'll seal it. All right, picking up where we left off last time with the wires coming through the transom. I figured out the wiring run. So I'm gonna finish working on this. I still have to get the wire shells for the outside and get those in place. I probably won't show that on this video, but this will be a two-part video, because what I've decided to do is just show the installation of the lights and the wires on this video, and then that way I can get the back the rear stateroom here tidied up with the area back here that's all open. And then in the next part I will show putting the shells on the outside of the transom and powering the lights. So we're going to get this part of the video wrapped up by doing the wiring run, and I've got about a 33-foot roll of red wire and a 33-foot roll of black wire. Now on boats, black wire is not correct for negative for 12-volt systems. It should be yellow. I couldn't find a 33-foot roll of yellow, at least in this gauge. This is 18 gauge. I'm going to splice both lights together and then onto the 18 gauge wire. The wire, it's the wire that comes out of the lights is even smaller. It's probably 22 or 24, probably 22 would be my guess. So I'm going to splice both sides of the lights together, and then we'll run the other side of the splice into this 18 gauge. And I just spilled them all over the bed. What's new? So we're going to have to work underneath this board here And you're probably not going to be able to see exactly what, well, you might be able to. So these wires are already tinned. So we'll just slide these exposed leads into the splice. First I will twist them together. There you go, crimpers. Okay, get our butt splice in place. Hold it there. And I'll come in from underneath here to get this squeezed. And give it a pull test. Okay, both wires are in securely there. Now we'll do the same thing for the black wire, which again should be yellow for ABYC standards. Pull test on the black is good. Okay, all right, so there I got 2 butt splices. Okay, now we'll cut a little off of the 18 gauge. And twist these up. Make sure we got red to red. And we'll crimp this one. Sorry you can't see the crimping, but you know what crimping looks like. Okay, now I'll do our black wire. We got what looks like a 4-way intersection here. So what I'll do now is we'll just kind of lay these over into one direction, and I'll put some, we'll wrap this in electrical tape, and then I'll probably zip tie it to this water hose up here. That's the water hose for the freshwater tank, which is, I believe, is replaced. There's two hoses here, and it looks like at some point along the way somebody just added a new hose and left the old one in place, which is fine. All right, let me go get some electrical tape. Be really nice to get this aft area closed back up again, because a few other little projects to do in the aft stateroom here, one of which is installing new carpet, which is another video coming out later. And Skipper Buds did get the rudder packing done for me this week, so this will be ready to close as soon as I'm done with this wiring project for these lights. You know, like I said, I am using electrical tape. I do use heat shrink sometimes, but in this case, electrical tape will suffice just fine. This is a dry area back here, especially where these wires are going to be secured. They're going to be up high. Now, electrical tape obviously goes bad over time, but this isn't in the elements, and we just need the wires to be secure so that they don't rattle around and end up breaking. So I'll get a zip tie and we'll just tie it right up to the water hose here. I'll probably secure it back here just a little bit as well. Now you can't see that, but wire kind of dangles right on top of the this power pack motor, which I believe is for the rudders. All right, I'll go get a zip tie. We'll get that secured, and then I'll show you the wiring run. Okay, got the wire zip tied up here, and the wiring run is going to take us back up under here. I'm going to reach down through this drawer. There is access up, I think you can see it, there's access up above there. So I'll grab the wires here, bring them up through here, and I should be able just to pass the wires from drawer to drawer to drawer to drawer, through this bulkhead here, and then let's see, comes through, yeah, right down through here. And then at this point, I can go down. There's a hole right here, goes down into the engine room where I can get access to the fuse panel. So that's the plan. I'm not gonna be able to video this. You won't be able to see anything, but I'll show you the wiring run, or at least tell you that it was a success after I get done with it. All right, as mentioned, the wiring run before, I've got the wires in, so got them coming across the top here. They go down behind this cabinet, up through here. You can see on the back side there. So then they run from this cabinet, or this drawer, behind this one. And then I drilled a hole in this cubby here for the wires to come through, and then down through the floor of that cubby. And it comes down through the floor there, and then through here, and then they just drop down and run down that bulkhead there. And then they come out here and then run across just above the exhaust tube, and then through that wire bundle there into the engine room. And if we go to the engine room, I can get down here without hurting myself. The red and black wire at the top there come through with that wire bundle. Got them wrapped up over the top there, and then for now, I've got my coiled wire there for storage. So the next video will be actually wiring the lights. So I've got them brought to the power terminals here. There's a fuse block. And then what I'll do is either connect them to another switch, which I'm not really sure I want to do that, because really the only switch that would make sense is nav lights, and I don't want them to be on all the time when the nav lights are on. So I may have to install another switch. There might be a switch up at the helm that's not being used though. I need to look at that. So anyway, from the terminal, power terminals here, fuse block, we'll then run it right up that bundle of wires there that goes up to the helm, up to a switch. So wasn't really all that bad. Just figuring out the routing was the head scratcher, but once that was figured out, everything ran pretty easy. So the last section of this video is going to be figuring out where to secure those wires on the transom of the boat. I'm going to go up and run the trim tabs all the way down, figure out how much slack I need in the wires, get those probably just zip tied in place for now. I will get a more permanent style of mount for those, but I just want to get them, I want to get the wire slack figured out so I can get the holes sealed from the inside, and then then I'll seal them from the outside with the wire shells, or pitot shell, clamshell, whatever you want to call it, once I get those. So let's go outside and take a look at the wiring on the transom again. Okay, back behind the boat now. We've got the trim tabs run all the way down, and we will see what kind of slack we need. Might need to pull just a little bit back out, but I think we have just enough. So we'll probably just tie it right to the base of the swim platform step. I think that'll work fine. And there's a dead fish in there. Okay, so for now, they're zip tied. I will get those permanently attached later on, but when we get the shell in place, that's going to push the wire flat against the transom and give us just a little bit of additional slack here. I did notice that the trim tab is right up against the board there, so it may not be all the way down, but that's a pretty good amount of deflection. So I think we'll have plenty of slack in the wiring. Same thing on this side. Once the shell is in place, the wire will be flat against the transom, giving some additional slack here and down to the light. I don't want to tie them to the trim tab themselves. I just don't want to risk the wire getting pinched when they're all the way up. So I will go back inside, and I'm not going to film this, but I'm going to seal this hole from the inside with silicone. But I'm really happy with how this looks. So thanks for watching this episode of the Wisco Boater channel. Hope you enjoyed it. Hit that subscribe button and like button. Send me some comments, and if you want to be notified when I post new videos like this one, or part 2 of this underwater light installation when we actually wire power to them, hit that notification bell. We'll see you next time on the Wisco Boater channel. Happy boating, everybody.